Right now, racial disparities and the vaccine. What doctors are doing to close the gap.
Plus, new data backing up the effectiveness of vaccines, how Pfizer and Moderna shots are doing outside of studies.
It's going to be another day where winds are in the picture, though not as bad as yesterday. We're also talking just how cool temperatures will be. That'll be the first warn forecast.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
And a good Tuesday morning, everybody. It's March 30th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Stanford.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Leah Lynchide. A new promise from the White House this week. President Biden says most American adults will be eligible for a vaccine next month.
That is by April 19th, 3 weeks from today, 90% of adults, people over 18 and over, will be eligible to get vaccinated. 90% of all Americans will be living within 5 miles of a place they can get a shot.
Last week, Biden set a goal of having 200 million vaccine shots administered by his 100th day in office. Previously, the White House had said it would order states to open eligibility to all U.S. adults by May 1st. Now, this graphic shared by President Biden on Twitter provides a better look at expanded eligibility. 25 states plan to make all adults eligible by April 15th, just about 2 weeks from now. Wisconsin, though, you'll notice, is in light blue, along with 18 other states, indicating we're on track to have adults eligible by May 1st. That's 2 weeks later.
The director of the CDC is echoing the president. Dr. Rochelle Walensky is asking Americans to stick with pandemic precautions just a little while longer. The U.S. surpassed 30 million all-time cases of the virus yesterday, with some parts of the country seeing a steady rise in cases. A new study out this morning shows vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna work as expected in real-world conditions. The CDC followed nearly 4,000 healthcare workers and first responders to see how the vaccines are working in real life. Some of them have received both doses, others one dose, and some hadn't been vaccinated at all. Researchers found both vaccines, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, were 90% effective at preventing infections, even asymptomatic ones. They also affirmed both shots are 80% effective after just a single dose. These results are what scientists expected based on clinical trials, but those results don't always match up with what happens when real-world conditions are introduced.
This DHS data shows just over 17% of the state's population has finished its vaccination series. That includes nearly 60% of people at least 65 years old. Dane County is ahead of the statewide race. A little more than 1 in 5 residents are fully vaccinated, as well as nearly 9 in 10 people ages 65 and up.
About 28% of white people in the state have gotten at least one COVID-19 vaccine. That number is 11% in the black community. UW Health's Dr. Jasmine Zepeda says there can be a number of reasons for this, including that some individuals distrust the healthcare system. So she joined other doctors and health experts last night at a free panel discussion. Her goal was to dispel myths and get information out there so that people can make the best decision for themselves.
We want everyone to get the vaccine, but it's also a decision where we don't want to rush people or make them feel judged for not making their decision yet. So our approach is to just simply continue to have conversations.
The Overture Center for the Arts is hosting a series of virtual panels just like this.
1 million people are fully vaccinated in Wisconsin. Almost twice as many have had at least one dose. That means 30% of the state's population is somewhat protected if another wave does happen. Vaccinations are happening faster than many first thought, but it still doesn't feel fast enough to Dr. Matt Anderson. While the demand is filling nearly every appointment, the supply still can't keep up.
You'll see that the 65 plus numbers are really pretty low and lower than other age groups, and they've certainly been the priority for vaccination over the last month or two.
Even though 30% does feel like a lot, there are still a lot more people to reach. And these doctors say the faster that happens, the less likely we'll see major infections happen again.
If you want to get your vaccine card laminated after you get your second dose, you've got some more time to get it done for free. Staples is offering to laminate your card now with no set end date. Previously, the company said it was only going to offer this until April 3rd. Office Depot and Office Max are also offering to laminate your cards. You have until July 25th, though, if you're going to those places. You'll also need a coupon to get your lamination there. In addition to laminating, the CDC also suggests that you take a picture of your vaccination card as a backup copy. 6:04, Chris Reese here now with a look at your first warn forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning. We're going to see cloud cover working its way on in as we go throughout your Tuesday. Not as much sunshine as yesterday, and it's going to be just a little bit cooler too, but still it could be worse for this time of the year. You'll see a couple peaks of sunshine. Look for those temperatures topping out into the low 50s this afternoon. Winds are starting to relax for us, at least briefly this morning. This is as a cold front is right on top of us, but they'll pick up again behind that cold front. So here's future track, and you can go ahead and subtract a little bit of the wind gusts off of this, but by the time we get you into the afternoon, look for those wind gusts up around 25 to 30 miles per hour or so. And then later on tonight, we'll really see those wind gusts subside as we start to move into early tomorrow. That's when high pressure is going to take right back over. That being said, this is high resolution radar right now. Even with that cold front on the way, there's really not much in the way of moisture, so we're not seeing anything truly pop up. Now back towards the north and west, this is where you see just a little bit of radar return associated with that cold front, but even that is likely struggling to reach the ground. So this is the reason we have the slightest chance of a shower in that forecast today, but the reality is most folks should truly stay dry in this part of the country. We're at 50. The airport has finally caught up to the picture, and you see that cloud cover that's on the increase out there. So we will see more and more of that cloud cover as we go throughout your morning. 52 in Lone Rock right now. Good morning to you guys. Platteville is at 50. Good morning. Good morning to Janesville at 52, and good morning to the Dells, waking up at 49. So now we put this into motion. We're truly planning the day here. It's a 7:30. That front is starting to arrive from our north and west. I don't expect rain to come out of this front, but I do expect the cloud cover. We're seeing that cloud cover roll on in already. Temperatures by 10:30 are at 52. We really stay into the low 50s all the way into the afternoon. This is now 1:30, and then temperatures really begin to drop as we head into tonight. Overnight lows tonight should be into the mid-20s. That sets the stage for temperatures tomorrow, really only making it into the upper 30s for those highs with that mix of sun and clouds. More sunshine on Thursday, 41. 60s do return for Easter weekend before more chances for showers and thunderstorms show up as we begin to move into your next week. That being said, of course, we're going to be watching first warn traffic for you guys. It's all good throughout Dane County. Same for our friends in Rock County as well. We'll keep you up to date if anything changes.
All right, Mr. Reese, thank you very much. 6:07 now. 2 states are now offering new facilities as an increased number of migrants are crossing the southern border. The San Diego Convention Center in California opened its doors for hundreds of teenage female migrants who are seeking asylum. Local leaders volunteered to have the facility serve as the first women's emergency shelter. They say it will help ease the overcrowded conditions in other areas. The focus now getting these girls connected to family and sponsors in the U.S. Officials say they expect each teen to stay in the shelter for about a month. And a 6th emergency shelter now open in Texas. It's already received 500 teen boys as of last night. The federal government says more than 13,000 migrant children are currently in shelters and emergency sites. An additional 5,700 kids are being held in short-term Border Patrol facilities. President Biden, meanwhile, has stopped short of calling this a crisis.
6:08 now. Working long hours after you've recovered from a heart attack may increase your chances of a second heart attack. That's what a new study found. It was published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology. It also shows that heart attack patients who return to working nearly 55 hours a week are twice as likely to have more cardiac trouble. The study also found that men and younger employees tend to work more hours. A lack of exercise could be to blame for 8% of chronic diseases and deaths worldwide. Researchers found middle-income nations are most impacted by inactivity. Experts recommend about 150 minutes of exercise a week. You get that, don't you, Leah?
Oh, you better believe it, Chris. Do you?
You get enough for both of us, right?
I mean, you're running around with kids all day, so I think something tells me you're working out enough.
Yeah, it's a very low-intensity workout.
But it never stops.
Is that a thing? You're right. I find that if I stop in the middle of the day, like if I get home and I sit down, then I'm done for.
Yes.
Right? You got to keep moving.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, 6:09 coming up. A new normal for court cases in Dane County. Why some people say coronavirus safety protocol could be violating constitutional rights.
And
And good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Brighter, live in the 608 this morning, and we're celebrating National Doctors Day as I introduce you to a doctor here whose passion is in helping people day after day. His story when we come back.
Sunroom savings season is here. Four Seasons has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 20 to 30%. Let CoolView show you how to tame your backyard and improve your lifestyle. Call for a free backyard survey, design, and quote.
Freshen the look of your home with a new find from Habitat Restore Dane County. Get great deals on cabinets, appliances, furniture, and building supplies. Visit Habitat Restore today.
I want a client who comes in to feel comfortable and to know that their case is in good hands so they can relax and get on with their life as best as they can and let me do the fighting for them. That's how I want them to feel.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
More Americans are growing their own vegetables than ever before. At Garden Mats, we're here to help people supplement their food supply with fresh, organic vegetables. Whether you are a beginner, novice, or master gardener, Garden Mats make gardening a breeze. Spend your summers trying to keep up with each other, not your weeds. Go to gardenmats.com and plan your garden today.
Pre-shop the Madison Lighting Spring Sale and save 15% off everyday low prices. Every brand, every ceiling fan, every home accent. Pre-shop for low prices on visual comfort and generation brands, including Feist, Ellen DeGeneres, Ralph Lauren, Aaron Lauder, and many more. Check them out on social media. Find inspiration and shop the website, or shop Madison Lighting Showroom on Watts Road, Madison.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
In the Fitchburg area, contact Tarkenton Brothers Heating, Ventilating, and Air Conditioning for quality comfort solutions.
Buying your first home is the start of realizing bigger dreams with your family. That's why it's important to protect everything you love with American Family Insurance. Wait, what's that?
It's their dream car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's actually my dream car. And my little dream tire swing with some dream trees. There'd be a nice dream garden right here, too.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Sunroom savings season is here. Four Seasons has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 20 to 30%. Let CoolView show you how to tame your backyard and improve your lifestyle. Call for a free backyard survey, design, and quote.
The trial for former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will continue this morning. The trial's first day featured opening statements from both sides. The prosecution played for the jury the cell phone video showing George Floyd gasping for air. Chauvin's defense says that the video does not show all the factors at play, arguing that Floyd's death was the result of an underlying heart condition and drug abuse. Derek Chauvin charged with second and third degree murder as well as second-degree manslaughter. If convicted, he faces up to 40 years in prison. Derek Chauvin has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges.
As the trial gets underway, some businesses a few miles from the Hennepin County Courthouse are preparing for the outcome and possible unrest.
We've talked about whether or not to board up or not, but it is a nightly, daily thing we have to worry about.
Heather Warfield is the chief financial officer for the restaurant Wendy's House of Soul. For almost 3 years, the business was located off of Broadway Avenue, not far from the unrest following George Floyd's death. Their block was mostly untouched during the summer protests, but they fear if protests come again and their restaurant is damaged, they may not be able to recover. Warfield says her hope is that justice is served, and whatever the outcome may be, people deal with it peacefully.
6:13 now. Making an initial appearance in Dane County Court right now means appearing through a narrow slot in a door. No joke. Some people feel that gives an unfair impression and, worse yet, violates constitutional rights. Our Jamie Perez shows us how they're fighting for change.
It's not just because of the masks that Sandy Renardi has a tougher time doing her job.
Hardly visible.
Renardi is a court observer for Nehemiah. She leads a group that's focused on recording how racial disparities play a role in the criminal justice system. A big concern right now, how defendants appear through a cell door.
There's lots of research that indicates when defendants are shackled, when they're in prison garb, et cetera, that affects the perceptions of the people hearing the case.
Renardi said to observe the defendants through a food slot hole is both dehumanizing and makes them look automatically guilty. Last week, one of her peer court observers, Amy Thronson, replicated a food slot hole during the public comment portion of the Criminal Justice Council meeting to prove a point.
I am uncomfortable. I am yelling so that I'm sure you can hear me. My body is contorted. I am looking up to you from a place of submission.
They've also sent numerous emails to the people who could help change the way defendants appear for virtual appearances. District Attorney Ishmael Ozan replied to a letter, writing, "Historically in Dane County, we have not moved towards video appearances as some other counties around the state have. At this time, you are observing a temporary fix to what we hope is a temporary situation." Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney responded by noting, "In the current COVID housing and restrictions this facility has, we are doing our very best to meet the needs of the courts and the needs of the individual."
We don't believe this is the only possible solution at our jails. For example, legal visiting rooms, which are still have a barrier. They have a fiberglass barrier where an attorney would sit on one side and the defendant would sit on another. It wouldn't be ideal, but those, for example, could be used for with a camera on the other side and at least show the defendant in full view.
Renardi knows it's been challenging for the courts to modify the way they do things in this pandemic, but allowing for a proper court hearing is essential to a fair criminal justice system.
Anyone who has worked this year has had to figure out new technology solutions, shift their work environments, adapt to new ways of doing things, and they have a public responsibility to ensure that defendants' due process rights are protected.
For News 3 Now, I'm Jamie Perez.
Renardi says that she is trying to ramp up the pressure to modify these virtual court hearings by reaching out to elected and public officials in the coming weeks.
Holy Week at a Milwaukee church got an unsettling start after someone tagged their building with graffiti. A couple different words. The number 666 were some of the marks left on the St. Francis of Assisi church. Cameras on the site weren't able to catch a good look at the culprits. The church estimates it will cost thousands of dollars to undo the damage. Milwaukee police are currently on the lookout for possible suspects. 6:17 now. Let's turn over to Mr. Reese with a look at our Tuesday first warn weather. Hey there, Chris.
Good morning, Leah. A couple things to know. We're still going to be a little bit breezy as we move into this morning. We'll see a slight shower chance as well, if things are certainly going to be cooler as we start to move into your Wednesday and Thursday. Here's some of those sustained winds right now. They're still out of the south for us at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So they are not as bad as they were yesterday, but we're still a bit breezy. A lot of those wind gusts are upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. Still, this is not what we were seeing out there yesterday, so it is better. We'll start to see those winds pick up again behind the cold front that moves in later on this morning, so they'll start to gust to about 30 miles per hour or so. Even still, it's not as windy as yesterday, just breezy as we start to move into the afternoon. Here's what we're watching on radar right now. Truly, it's quiet. There's a weak little disturbance trying to move in from the north and west, but our air is overall dry. We're at 50 degrees. That cloud cover is on the increase this morning. We'll see more of that as we start to move into the afternoon. With the cloud cover and the cooler air, temperatures don't budge all that much. Check it out. Winds are out of the south and west at 8. They're out of the west as we go through 10 and 12. They'll be out of the northwest as we move into the afternoon, guys.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you much. 6:18. Time to see what's going on in the 608 today. You know, over the last year, our doctors here in the 608 have been at the forefront of an unprecedented time in medicine. So on this National Doctors Day, we want to give some recognition to those who deserve it.
In the 608 this morning, our Josh Sprider is live outside SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital with that story. Good morning, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, the days are starting to get a little brighter here in the medical community. Obviously a lot different at this point than what it was at this time last year. And in a period that has been anything but normal, we wanted to take some time to recognize those on the front lines, our doctors that are really stepping it up, and some much deserved recognition this morning, especially for one doctor. This morning I want to introduce you to Dr. Kyle Martin. He's a medical director of emergency services here at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital. He's been here since 2005. Dr. Martin says the last year has been anything but easy, but he's proud of the hard work his colleagues have put in and day out. With so much divisiveness in the world today, Dr. Martin also tells me that we should all feel good to be part of such a community where everyone, even separate health systems, are willing to work together and get the job done right.
The level of teamwork that was there and still is there now, I think, is really gives a lot of hope to how healthcare looks like in the future. And we continue to learn, we continue to get better. I think that the pandemic has really kind of forced healthcare to make some pretty big leaps and jumps in how we do things and how we take care of patients.
Dr. Martin was recently presented a first-of-its-kind award for his efforts over the last year. You can see that right there on your screen right now. And ahead in our next half hour, we're going to hear more from him about what this community means for him and why he continues to come back here day after day. Guys, when I shot the story later last week, this was my first time in St. Mary's Hospital here in over a year, and it was good to see some positive spirit within a lot of the workers here. Dr. Martin walking down the hallway and just providing a smile for a lot of folks here. So it's good to see that energy, and we're kind of on the ups here. Like I mentioned, we're getting there, and things are looking a lot brighter. So today is for all those doctors out there making a big difference in our community.
Well, you said it, Josh. And from the looks of that video, spirits look to be pretty high. I'm so happy to see that they're getting the recognition that they so deserve. So a great reminder today to let the doctors in your lives know that they're certainly appreciated. Josh Breiter, SSM. This morning. Thanks, Josh.
And a reminder to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him either on social media or email him at inthe608@wisctv.com for a chance to be featured.
Still ahead this morning, prepping for Easter. It's this weekend. Which candies your kids may be looking forward to the most?
Your kids. What about the rest of us? And coming up in our next half hour, a week out from an election, here are the superintendent's plans for early childhood education. Stay with us.
Get the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consultation with a Barnes licensed lawn care professional. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. Barnes since 1981. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
Let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
Breathe easy. Contact AirServe for quality AC repair. Finally, a heating and cooling company you can count on.
In the race for Greene County Judge, only one candidate has the experience to keep us safe, Jane Bucher. As an attorney, Jane Bucher is the only candidate with deep courtroom experience handling over 2,300 cases. Jane Bucher is the only candidate to help start a drug court, saving lives and reducing crime. And Jane Bucher is the only candidate endorsed by hundreds of community leaders, judges, and attorneys.
As your judge, I'm prepared to make tough decisions, treat people fairly, and keep Greene County safe and strong.
Every child, no matter their zip code, should have access to a great public education. As a former teacher and superintendent, I know what it takes. I've led schools to high student achievement, I've expanded preschool, and I've balanced budgets. My opponent can't be trusted. She's backed by Scott Walker, and she tried to cover up a $500,000 financial scandal. Our kids deserve better. I'm Jill Underly. As state superintendent, I'll always do what's best for our kids.
For over 25 years, Fry Construction has provided excellence in home improvements. We strive to exceed the expectations of our clients with each and every project we do. respected by so many of your neighbors, and voted best of Madison. Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. In honor of our 25 years, we're offering 25% off gutters or insulation with any full roof project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving, so you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
Get the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consultation with a Barnes licensed lawn care professional. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. Barnes since 1981. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Welcome back. Easter is less than a week away, and if you're still not sure what to put in your kids' baskets, maybe these numbers might help narrow things down.
We have results from a new Retail Me Not survey that shows that the most popular Easter candy is Reese's peanut butter Easter eggs.
Duh.
No brainer, right?
Yes.
More than a quarter of people surveyed said that the eggs were their top pick. Just behind that, with 24%, jelly beans. Cadbury eggs came in third, chocolate bunnies, and Peeps finish out the top 5.
I don't think anybody is seriously picking Peeps. It's just that it's like a tradition, right?
I don't know. Are there more than 5 Easter candies to choose from? I mean, Peeps makes 5th on the list. Like, am I missing any?
I don't know. I don't know. My parents normally just get me regular candy. They don't go for the Peeps because they know that I'm never going to touch those suckers.
Unpopular opinion, there is no good Easter candy.
Even the Reese's egg?
That doesn't get me excited. I'm just not a fan. They're okay.
Peanut butter.
Like, if I had to choose one, it would be the Reese's egg thing.
See?
But, like, if there were a couple out in front of me, I'm not, like, diving for it or anything. I'm not going to shove one in my mouth. I mean,
I'm with Chris Stanford on this
chocolate.
one.
Yeah, I knew that.
Whatever. It's all right.
You guys are wet blankets.
Sorry.
I'm not hanging out with you two.
We know what gets Leah excited.
Neither of you are invited to my Easter egg hunt.
Ah.
Forget it.
Fair enough. All right, stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry, now offering complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling with 0% financing. Everything you need to finish your dream project. Get the job done right with RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Pre-shop the Madison Lighting Spring Sale and save 15% off everyday low prices. Every brand, every ceiling fan, every home accent. Pre-shop for low prices on visual comfort and generation brands, including Feist, Ellen DeGeneres, Ralph Lauren, Aaron Lauder, and many more. Check them out on social media. Find inspiration and shop the website, or shop Madison Lighting Showroom on Watts Road, Madison.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan or for checkups only. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call or go to sendinfokit.com to get your free information kit. Call now.
My husband's parents were visiting, and I promised them a home-cooked meal, except my boss had a different idea. He tells me, hold your horses. I call my husband and I say, I'm slammed, and he's like, Quick Trip, and I'm like, bingo. At Quick Trip, I say, what's good tonight? And the Quick Trip guy is like, everything, but I go for the hand-breaded fried chicken, and I go, make that ×4. Being none the wiser, my mother-in-law is like, I always said she's a keeper. I'll run with that.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
Your parents spent years taking care of you, but as the years go by, it becomes your turn to take care of them. This might mean trusting a nursing home, which promises to care for them as cherished loved ones. But if the nursing home you've chosen is not keeping their promise, we can help. If your parents have been injured in a nursing home, call Habish, & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry, with honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. Get the job done right with RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Spending federal money. Why Governor Evers believes a GOP proposal would delay the state's pandemic recovery, and what Republicans' next move could be.
And it's going to be another breezy day here in the 608, but we are turning cooler. How cool do we go this week? I have the answer in the First Warn forecast.
And later in the 608, I introduce you to a doctor here in the 608 who's being recognized for his passion in helping people during the pandemic. That's coming up.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for waking up with us. Election Day is exactly 1 week away. The only statewide election on your ballot is for state superintendent.
Jill Underly and Deb Kerr are laying out their plans for early childhood education. Both candidates participated in a forum last night.
I know that it's a lot of work, but we need to advocate for our birth to 3 programs as well. Because it is important, as the research has shown, that kids are learning since birth, and they need that stimulation. They need, the play. They need the socialization, everything. And it sets them up for a lifetime of success.
I believe our kids and our families aren't winning. I would like to see a world-class education system be elevated to the top of the list across the country. So my vision is to create a world-class education system in Wisconsin, one that values the whole child, parent engagement, and promotes the profession of teachers. I'm very excited.
You still have time to register to vote. You have until 5 o'clock on Friday to register at your clerk's office. You can still request an absentee ballot, too. That has to be done by 5 o'clock on Thursday, though.
Republican lawmakers plan to respond to Governor Evers' veto of their proposal today. The bill would have taken away the governor's right to make decisions on how to spend billions of federal relief dollars. Governor Evers says it would have delayed getting payments to people.
I don't care who gets the credit. It's never been about that for me, and it never will be. I just want to get this done, get money into pockets, and make sure that our state bounces back and better than before.
Governor Evers says the money will go out quickly once he gets some guidance from the Biden administration. The legislature, meanwhile, doesn't have the votes necessary to override his veto. On the assembly floor last week, Speaker Robin Vos said they would have no choice but to go to court if the governor vetoed that proposal.
More than 1 million Wisconsinites have now been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Many public vaccine clinics want to give their limited doses to locals first, but there are some that have opened up appointments to anyone. The Ho-Chunk Nation is one of those groups. You don't have to be a tribal member or have a medical condition or even live in a certain area to get a shot. Kiana Bowden is the director of the Ho-Chunk Nation's Department of Health. She says there's a higher level of hesitancy to get the vaccine among Ho-Chunk Nation tribal members, and that many are waiting to see what the long-term side effects might be.
I think mainly it's going to be seeing more people of their ethnicity or whatever group that they're from getting the vaccine and sharing their experiences with them. We can talk about the science until we're blue in the face, but really I think they trust the people that they know the best.
43% of tribal members have been vaccinated so far. The Ho-Chunk Nation is hosting vaccination clinics in Baraboo and Black River Falls. The Baraboo Clinic is tomorrow. The Black River Falls Clinic is on Thursday. Thursdays will be the last one, too, that's open to the public. You can find everything you need to know about these clinics by going to our website.
New this morning, a hospital executive in Chicago will be suspended without pay for 2 weeks because of a vaccine scandal. Loretto Hospital vaccinated some well-connected people before they were eligible, including staff at Chicago's Trump Tower. The hospital board had previously said CEO George Miller had been reprimanded, but they just announced his suspension yesterday. The city has now pulled that hospital's vaccine supply.
Some relief on the way for renters in Wisconsin. The CDC has extended its order halting some evictions. It's now extended through the month of June. The order would have ended tomorrow. This is the third time the order's been extended since it was first issued in September. The CDC says evictions could hinder efforts to slow the spread of COVID-19. Some landlords not happy about this, saying that the order puts the burden on property owners.
Derek Chauvin's trial will pick back up this morning in Minneapolis. Opening statements, testimony, and disturbing video filled the first day of the trial yesterday. Skylar Henley reports.
Prosecutors did not mince words as they laid out their case against former police officer Derek Chauvin.
I would tell you that you can believe your eyes. That it's a homicide, it's murder.
The trial's first day featured opening statements from both sides. The prosecution played for the jury the cell phone video showing George Floyd gasping for air.
He put his knees upon his neck and his back, grinding and crushing him until the very breath, no, ladies and gentlemen, until the very life were squeezed out of him.
The defense offered a very different take on what happened.
And you will learn that Derek Chauvin did exactly what he had been trained to do over the course of his 19-year career.
Defense attorney Eric Nelson said Floyd's death was the result of drug abuse and an underlying heart condition.
The evidence is far greater than 9 minutes and 29 seconds.
Day one also included the trial's first witnesses, among them a 911 operator who watched Floyd's arrest on surveillance videos, who initially thought the cameras had frozen because the restraint had gone on so long. That dispatcher says she then called the police on the police, something she had never done before.
And my instincts were telling me that something's wrong. Something is not right. I don't know what, but something wasn't right.
Chauvin is charged with second and third-degree murder, as well as second-degree manslaughter. He's pleaded not guilty. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Just about 6:36 here on checking in with Chris Reese in your first morning forecast. He's here to help you plan out your day. Hey, Chris.
That's right. We're planning the day this morning. I'll tell you what, we're going to see cloud cover at times today, but you might see at least a couple rays of sun peeking on through. Ultimately, the cloud cover is what wins out for your Tuesday. It's going to keep temperatures cooler. We'll tap out into the low 50s. That's also coming with winds that are going to be changing direction this time out of the north. But I'll tell you what, some good news this morning. We are not as windy as we were yesterday. Unless you like the wind, then it's bad news. But ultimately, some calmer news in the world of weather. The wind is a little bit more relaxed, still gusting to about 25 to 30. We're seeing them relax as a cold front moves on through. They'll actually pick up again behind that cold front, but they'll still only gust to about 25 to 30. So breezy today as opposed to the all-out wind we saw yesterday. And then those winds truly begin to relax as the sun sets later on tonight. That being said, let's watch radar as this cold front moves in. There's not a lot that shows up on radar, but a weak little disturbance towards the north and west, and even it is already starting to fall apart. The reason for it, it's moving into drier air. That drier air is evaporating a lot of that moisture. That'll help keep things cooler a little bit today, but it will prevent anything from reaching the ground. Still will keep the slight chance of a shower in that forecast, but I do expect most of us to be dry all day long. 50 our temperature right now. You see that bit of gray sky out there. Wind still out of the south at 14 miles per hour. You can see where they've changed direction. Boscobel was at 58 this morning. They dropped to 54. That front is now right on top of them. It's 45. In Decorah. We're not going to see as big of a temperature drop because the sun's going to be coming up trying to heat us, but it's going to be fighting the colder air that's working its way into town. You will, however, notice a big change as we move into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and plan that out for you. We get into this afternoon, we see that cloud cover. Like I said, it'll be filtered. There'll be a few rays of sunshine at times. Temperatures this afternoon stay into the low 50s. Now let's show you what happens later on tonight. Skies begin to clear out. That sets the stage for temperatures to fall down into the mid-20s for your overnight lows. Overnight lows will be in the mid-20s. Tomorrow, it's a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures with that northwesterly wind will struggle to get into the upper 30s. 38 is about as good as it's going to get tomorrow. Maybe someone sees a 40 with enough sunshine, but we're going to struggle to do that. 41 for your Thursday. 54 does come back for Friday with a weekend that's going to be absolutely incredible. I am curious if we have the chance to see 70 this weekend. I'm not convinced yet, but I've been watching the model data all week long to see if any 70s begin to show up. We'll turn a little bit more active as we start to move into next week. That being said, traffic not so much as active as it typically could be, but that's all right. We are seeing your normal slowdowns as you head in towards Capitol Square, especially with the traffic lights involved on East Washington and John Nolan. No major issues show up throughout Dane County. Same can be said for our friends over in Rock County.
All right, thank you, Chris. Hey, the second half of the Final Four will be determined tonight. We know that USC and Gonzaga will play. UCLA will play Michigan for a chance to make it to the semifinals. Houston and Baylor have already secured their spots. Houston beat 12-seeded Oregon State. It's the team's first Final Four since 1984. It'll be top-seeded Baylor's first semifinal appearance in 71 years. The Elite Eight wraps up tonight on TBS.
Marquette's new men's basketball coach is making a return home to Wisconsin. Shaka Smart grew up in Oregon, playing point guard at his high school in the mid-90s. As a coach, Smart led VCU to a Cinderella Final Four run in 2011. He spent the last 6 years at Texas. Smart says he's excited for the chance to build a team of leaders.
Leadership to me is not something that's determined by a title. It's not something determined by your rank or your class on the team. Leadership is simply the ability to make people and situations better.
He's got a big job ahead of him. Smart is coming in after Marquette's first losing record since 2014.
All right, 6:40 as we take a look outside. That wind is still whipping around this morning. Chris Reese is tracking when the wind's going to die down, a cold snap, and the Easter weekend forecast still ahead.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Sprider, live in the 608 this morning as we celebrate National Doctors Day. After the break, I'm going to introduce you to a doctor here at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital who's making a big difference and getting recognized for it. That's when we come back.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to PowerSwabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. PowerSwabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stained caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, PowerSwabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour, and start using the PowerSwabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. PowerSwabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean. And people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order PowerSwabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free PowerSwabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere XUV 500 for just $163 per month. Get a John Deere now and power up with Sloan. Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Tonight on CBS, it's a night of mysteries, beginning with NCIS at 7, followed by FBI at 8. And at 9, after a rogue militia group opens fire on several teenagers crossing the Canadian border into the U.S., the team races to find the ringleader and his final target on FBI Most Wanted. Then on News 3 Now at 10, the latest news and weather you need to have before you go to sleep tonight.
Time to see what's happening in the 608 this morning. Over the last year, our doctors here in the 608 have just been at the forefront of an unprecedented time in medicine. So on this National Doctors Day, we want to give them some recognition because, boy, do they deserve it.
Absolutely. In the 608 this morning, our Josh Sprider is live outside SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital with this story. Josh, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. You know, we are so lucky to live in a place with such a high level of care here in the Madison area. So this morning I wanted to take some time to recognize those that are keeping our family and friends safe day after day here in the 608. This morning we're introducing you to Dr. Kyle Martin. He's a familiar face here at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital and has been here since 2005. He's currently the medical director of emergency services. I'm told by his colleagues that Dr. Martin is well known here as being the best of the best. And recently he was surprised with an administrative partnership award for his pandemic planning. Dr. Martin tells me he's humbled and honored, but wouldn't be where he's at without the support of his entire team.
I don't have a shift in 20 years of emergency medicine that I haven't had a nurse come up and say, hey, what do you think about this or that? And, you know, like, oh, that's actually a really good point. Let's go ahead and try that. You know, the techs, everybody's picking it up. Medicine is a team game.
The UW graduate tells me he never thought Madison would be the place where he'd start his family, but now he says there's no other place he'd rather call home than right here in the 608. And of course, we couldn't agree more. So thank you, Dr. Martin, and thank you to all of the doctors here in the 608 that are helping us day after day. We know this last year has been anything but easy, but we thank you, we're proud of you, and we wouldn't be here without you guys. This day is all about them, and I hope to see all of this up on social media as we thank all of our local medical professionals, not even just our doctors. It's nurses, it's our technicians, it's everyone. They deserve it.
Certainly some well-deserved recognition there. I was actually born at St. Mary's, so big shout out to those doctors. Josh Sprider, thank you very much.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a little tidbit about me there, Chris.
Always learning more. All right, at 4:46, we got to check in with Chris Reese in your first warn forecast. Boy, that wind just keeps whipping out there, Chris.
It does. It's also cloudier out there, too, as opposed to that sunshine that we saw yesterday. Some good news, the winds aren't as strong as they were yesterday, but it's still a bit breezy out. 14 miles per hour is the sustained wind right now. Yesterday, those sustained winds were about double where they are. So we've cut the wind in half. A lot of those wind gusts are still in the 25 to 30 mile per hour range. We'll actually see more wind gusts start to work their way in from the north and west behind a cold front that's coming through. That cold front is also what we're watching in terms of a very slight chance to see a little shower out there, but it's running into some drier air. So because of that, the expectation is that most folks will stay dry today. It's only a slight chance of showers. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies all day long. We're at 50 now. We have the chance to drop into the upper 40s, but my expectation is that temperatures are really going to stay put within about the next 3 degrees or so as we go throughout the day. This is cooler. We're warmer than average as our normal high is right around 49, but we're going to be cooler as we move into tomorrow. Temperatures only get into the upper 30s before we truly rebound just in time for Easter.
Perfect timing. Thank you, Chris. 6:47. Stick around. The morning sprint is coming up after the break.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, let us know so we can share their picture on TV to celebrate. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Herzing University empowers you to earn the skills you need for all kinds of healthcare careers. Right now, we'll even waive your enrollment fee. Your nation needs healthcare workers. Join the movement at Herzing University. Call or click today.
For over 25 years, Fry Construction has provided excellence in home improvements. We strive to exceed the expectations of our clients with each and every project we do. Respected by so many of your neighbors and voted best of Madison, Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. In honor of our 25 years, we're offering 25% off gutters or insulation with any full roof project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to go ahead and smile.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
In the Fitchburg area, contact Tarkenton Brothers Heating, Ventilating, and Air Conditioning for quality comfort solutions.
Pre-shop the Madison Lighting Spring Sale and save 15% off everyday low prices. Every brand, every ceiling fan, every home accent. Pre-shop for low prices on visual comfort and generation brands, including Feist, Ellen DeGeneres, Ralph Lauren, Aaron Lauder, and many more. Check them out on social media. Find inspiration and shop the website, or shop Madison Lighting Showroom on Watts Road, Madison.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here to help.
If a nurse is what you want to be, let Herzing University make it possible in lots of different ways. We'll even waive your enrollment fee. Be exactly the nurse you want to be. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team for your most accurate forecast.
Welcome back, 6:51, time for the morning sprint.
Day 2 of the Derek Chauvin trial will begin in a couple of hours with tight security and the National Guard on standby. Former Minneapolis police officer faces murder and manslaughter charges in the death of George Floyd. Both sides got to present their opening statements yesterday. The first witnesses also took the stand, including a 911 dispatcher who testified that they called a police sergeant after getting a gut feeling that something wasn't right, all while watching the arrest on surveillance video. The trial is expected to last 4 weeks.
A 6th emergency shelter is now open for migrant children in Texas. It's already received 500 teen boys as of last night. The federal government says more than 13,000 migrant children are currently in shelters and emergency sites. An additional 5,700 kids are being held in short-term Border Patrol facilities. President Biden has stopped short of calling it a crisis.
Civil and voting rights groups are accusing Georgia Republicans of targeting black voters with new election restrictions. They filed 2 federal lawsuits challenging the state's new voting law. The law puts new voter ID requirements on absentee ballots and restricts accessibility to drop boxes. Georgia's Republican governor says the new law isn't a matter of voting rights, rather one about election security. President Biden has called it sick and un-American.
Our ability to get more people vaccinated more quickly is going to help us continue to keep those numbers low and ultimately a return to normal more quickly.
More than 1 million Wisconsinites are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. More still needs to be done, but health leaders say the milestone is a step in the right direction. It comes less than 4 months since COVID vaccines first arrived in Wisconsin. The CDC says 51 million people, or about 15% of the U.S. population, are fully vaccinated.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is asking Republicans to roll up their sleeves for a COVID vaccine. He says there's, quote, no good argument not to get the vaccine. Numerous polls have shown that a significant number of GOP voters are skeptical about the vaccine. Nearly half of Republicans polled said they aren't interested in ever getting one.
The head of the CDC is pleading with Americans to not let their guards down just yet. COVID cases are climbing in at least half the country. 17 states have erased their mask mandates. President Biden has asked governors to consider reinstating them. Wisconsin's mask mandate, meanwhile, set to expire next week. Governor Evers says he's waiting on the science to determine whether to extend it.
There are new concerns this morning over the spread of COVID-19 in Rock County. Health officials there say that they have found the UK variant in the county. The strain was first found in England in November. It's believed to spread more easily and more quickly than the virus's original strain. Dane County reported its first confirmed case of the variant back in February.
Starting today, the Summerfest grounds will serve as a temporary vaccine clinic. The guest services building will be open for vaccinations by appointment every Tuesday and Thursday and on some Saturdays. As for the actual Summerfest Music Festival, it is still scheduled to take place this year over 3 weekends in September.
Ghislaine Maxwell facing now sex trafficking charges. Federal prosecutors filed the charges against the former Jeffrey Epstein associate yesterday. Authorities say she recruited and groomed a 14-year-old girl to engage in sex acts with Epstein as recently as 2004. Maxwell is behind bars and has been awaiting trial on other charges, alleging that she helped Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. Maxwell has pleaded not guilty to those charges and denies the accusations.
Take a look at this new video. In overnight, Dallas Fire Rescue responded to an apartment fire in Texas last night. Flames were shooting through the roof when crews got there. Unbelievable. 80 firefighters responded. Nobody was hurt. The cause is still under investigation.
Well, the Suez Canal is back open for business this morning. Ships started moving through the canal again last night. A container ship that ran aground was blocking it for about a week. A fleet of tugboats managed to dislodge it early yesterday. Egyptian authorities say they hope that the backlog now of 422 ships could be cleared by the end of the week.
Americans are starting to travel again, which is why American Airlines is set to bring back some of its planes from storage. In a financial disclosure to the SEC, the airline said it expects to reactivate most of its planes in the second quarter. American says plane ticket sales are currently at about 90% of pre-pandemic levels. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says she's concerned increased travel will lead to future COVID surges.
And our temperature has fallen to 49 degrees now, but the sun is coming up, and we're going to start warming things up. The thing is, we're not going to warm up all that much with cloud cover and a cold front on the way. Winds still out of the south and west for now. They're going to be changing direction here in just a couple of hours. Radar is relatively quiet for us. We are going to watch our winds increase again behind the front, but they won't be anywhere near what they were yesterday. Temperatures top out around 52. We keep the mostly cloudy skies around all day long.
All right, Chris. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great Tuesday, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning.